Hey friends, Ash here. Welcome back to Gents. If you were wearing one of the fragrances that I'm gonna feature today, I would have been able to smell you from back there and I would have known you were standing there. So I got 10 different fragrances that are gonna make your presence known basically as soon as you walk into a room. Now, I will tell you, power's not everything when it comes to fragrances, but in today's list, it mainly is. For me, I think that there needs to be every type of fragrance. Some that are more moderate, some that are stronger, some that are weaker, because they each serve a different purpose. That's how pretty much all things in life are, right? You know, there's a purpose for every different thing. But screw all that. Today it's just fragrances that choke people out. So if you want to get noticed, here we go. These will do it for you. Proceed with caution, especially if you're wearing these to your place of employment or on a date or around a lot of people. A lot of different situations. I have them all linked in the description below as usual, and as usual, here are our codes. Use them if you want. 10 to 20% off. No particular order, so we're not gonna go from like the weakest of this bunch to the strongest or anything like that, because they're all pretty strong. Some cheap ones, some more expensive ones, some niche, some designer, like usual. Now we're gonna kick things off with this guy, Rasasi Hawas. Really well known for being an extremely strong fragrance for spring and summertime use. It's fresh, it's very sweet, and it bears more than a passing resemblance to Paco Rabanne's Invictus and Invictus Aqua. And just to trigger some of you guys out there, this is a clone of Invictus Aqua. I'm just messing with you. I'm only gonna go into this once because it's kind of a rambling mess. I'm gonna try to make this as quick as possible. Rasasi Hawas came out in 2015. Invictus Aqua came out in 2016, though you could get bottles at the tail end of 2015 if you knew somebody who knew somebody. So Hawas and Invictus Aqua came out fairly close as far as when they were released. This fragrance is very close, as I said, to both Invictus and Invictus Aqua. Invictus came out in 2013. My assumption would be that Rasasi released Hawas as kind of a twist clone on Invictus, which is how most clone companies do clones. A la Club de Nuit Intense Man is obviously a clone of Creed Aventus, but it's not exactly the same as Aventus. That's Hawas with Invictus. Invictus, Aventus, clone with So Hawas, being a clone of Invictus, essentially a twist on Invictus with a little more of a freshness, you might say, than the original, ended up smelling like Invictus Aqua. And so when people bring up Hawas, a lot of times they will say this is an Invictus Aqua clone, though it was released a little bit before the official release of Invictus Aqua. Regardless though, Hawas is essentially an Invictus line kind of clone. So I just wanted to throw that all out there at you real quick, as fast as I could. Is it faster to just say, it smells kind of like Invictus Aqua, but way stronger and with a little more sweetness? Yes, it is. But then there will be people who will say, no, you can't do that. No, sir. So Hawas is an amazing fragrance if you're looking for something that has beastly performance, that has great complement factor for spring and summertime. And it's also pretty affordable. Let's follow that one up with this one, Ameer Oud Intense Oud from Lattafa. Super cheap. This one I think you can get for under $20. It smells very similar to By the Fireplace from Maison Margiela, only I would wager stronger. So with this one, you're going to get a lot of vanilla, very sweet vanilla, almost sugary vanilla, with a smoky oud and a lot of woodiness underneath. As I said, very similar to By the Fireplace, so this one is obviously going to be more of a fall, wintertime fragrance for most people, unless you're living in like, I don't know, Alaska or Siberia or something. Then maybe you could wear it in summer. And this one is an intriguing one for me because it came out before Lattafa really like took over in a big way as far as the fragrance clone side of things goes. Clones obviously have been blowing up here lately, much more popular, and this is from like pre-explosion Lattafa, but it still is an amazing release. Actually, one of their better ones. It's overlooked nowadays, but for the price, this is solid. Big performance for a little budget. Let's change things up with Moschino Toy Boy. Now this one is, I don't know if divisive is the word, but yeah, maybe it is the word. A lot of people don't mess with Toy Boy. They don't wear Toy Boy because this one is unisex and some would say leaning a little bit feminine, very floral focused. And so you may think it wouldn't be that strong, but it is. Toy Boy has some performance to it. This stuff projects like a beast. It lasts forever. It's got a very interesting scent profile, very different from pretty much anything else out there that's being made and marketed toward men on the designer side of things. It's got a lot of sweetness you know, mixing together with all those florals, one of the only men's fragrances that I can really think of that has magnolia front and center. So this is one of those fragrances where if it works for you, you're gonna stand out easily. Doesn't smell like anything else out there as far as men's designers, as I said. It's got huge performance, so people are definitely gonna notice you. The only problem is if it doesn't work for you, you're still gonna get noticed. And if you aren't very confident about this one, that could be a little uncomfortable. But Toy Boy, if you're looking for something with pop, it's got it. Now this next one is one of my absolute favorites in this entire list. I'm not gonna say it's my absolute favorite because there's some other bangers in here, but it's right there toward the top. It is Brioni Eau de Parfum Intense. This stuff smells awesome. The problem with it was that it was really difficult to find. I basically got this from Fragrance Buy as soon as they got it in stock. It was out of stock forever, but here lately it has started to appear again. I try a lot of times to not feature things that are impossible to find in the US, because if I do, then I get inundated with emails from people like, why would you feature this? What are you doing? Are you trying to give me issues? Because you're giving me issues. But now that this is like a little easier to find, I feel better about talking about it. It is just awesome. Like I said, I love the opening here. It's this really intriguing mix of citrus and apple and a little fresh spice, but then underneath that, you have an oud note. You have some vanilla and then this like fresh sort of woodiness mixing with the oud. The oud is definitely more of that, you know, sweet kind of dark woody oud. It's not like, you know, medicinal or animalic really. And so you end up with this fragrance that's just really wearable, but has great performance and then also stands out. So there's so much to love about it. The sweetness to me is the best part. The way those fruits come across, just crazy. Love it. The best part though, magnetic cap. Yes, sir. Not really the best magnetic cap, but take what we can get. Let's go niche with a 2-for-1. This is Carlisle and a Castor from Parfums de Marly. Now, Carlisle gets all the love. These two came out at the same time. They're a little on the pricey side compared to normal Parfums de Marly, which I guess all Parfums de Marly are on the pricey side, but Carlisle gets all the love. This is, you know, a little bit akin to Red Tobacco from Mancera, but smoother, more elegant, less spicy or sweet spicy, I guess. Big, huge performance. Like Carlisle is one of the best from Parfums de Marly if we're just talking how much push it has. I understand why it's a compliment puller, it's sophisticated, it's sexy. I understand why it got and continues to get all the love, but this one here is good too. For a Castor, no love for you. It's got really solid performance, as you would expect. I think the main issue with this one is it's a rose oud, and there are a lot of rose ouds out there, just untold numbers, right? Rose oud saffron, that's the tried and true combo, but after a while, it starts to get kind of boring. Designers have rose ouds, indie has rose ouds, niche has rose ouds, there are rose ouded tars, there's rose oud everything, man. Just rose oud until the end of time. So it didn't get all that love because that. But there's more to this. There's a nice citrus off the top. There's leather in here. There is saffron, so. But you have additional other sweet spices in here, even praline, and that helps it give a different kind of twist to that more typical rose oud saffron scent structure. It's basically taking a high-end rose oud saffron fragrance and then reimagining it a little bit with additional sweetness to make it more wearable, maybe for Western audiences, while still trying to stay in tune with what a rose oud saffron scent should smell like. But like Carlisle, it's classy, it's got great performance, good evening scent. Let's freshen things back up with Invictus Legend from Paco Rabanne. Invictus Legend sort of falls like in between Invictus Intense and Invictus Aqua. So it's not quite as fresh as Invictus Aqua is. It's not as dark as Invictus Intense is. It has that very sweet Invictus scent profile, that kind of aquatic bubblegum blast with bay leaf underneath. And Invictus Legend is strong. This stuff right here, if you want a powerful Invictus, that will do it for you. I know we talked about Hawas earlier. That will also do it for you. But man, this one has like a very bracing opening. Extremely brisk and kind of green. Compliment puller, great for spring and summer, great for younger guys as well, or just anybody that likes this style of scent. This is strong, guys. It'll last forever. And if you spray that on heavy, people will be begging for mercy. After that, we're gonna go with Cool Water Intense. which does not actually smell like an intense version of Cool Water. I just sprayed my hand. Dang it. Nice. Bad aim. So this only has 3 notes: mandarin orange, coconut, and amber. And the coconut is not quite as in the forefront as other fragrances like Le Beau Le Parfum or Fusion DC from Issey Miyake. It's still there, certainly is still there, and the fragrance is quite sweet, but this one focuses a little more on that mandarin kind of melding with the coconut instead of the coconut just right at the front. This is one of those summertime fragrances that you would almost second guess wearing during the summer, because especially off my skin, that stuff is potentially cloying and potentially just too heavy with that amber and that sort of lightly powdered sweetness that it has. Really good for spring, really good for fall, and I do think you could wear it in summer. I'm not saying you can't. I am saying though, consider how many sprays you put on. Great price on that too. Getting closer to the end here, we go with Sauvage Elixir. Don't have to say much, don't have to say much. Crazy powerful, just huge performance, which is saying something because the whole Dior Sauvage line really is known for performance. Elixir is a personal favorite of mine. That's why I couldn't just say that, you know, the Brioni over here is my absolute favorite, because Sauvage Elixir is in here too. And I like that a lot. Whew, yeah. The real question is, where does Sauvage go from here? You know, they got the Eau de Toilette, the Eau de Parfum, the Parfum, and the Elixir. Now what? I really don't know. But Sauvage Elixir, it reminds me of some fragrances of years gone by, done with a modern touch and with the performance just ramped up, you know, ramped up to 11. Classy, sexy, just... Let's go niche with Lunar Vetiver up next. This one is from Amouroud. And the vetiver in here is sort of an almost nutty, woody vetiver. It is fresh, it's clean, but it does still have like little remnants of earthiness to it. Extremely woody, a little bit reminiscent of gray vetiver, but not quite as scrubbed and shiny as gray vetiver is. As with a lot of vetiver fragrances, this one would be a great office fragrance, really nice kind of casual scent or more formal scent, but it does have big power. This is actually my fragrance of the day, my scent of the day. And I didn't go too heavy with it because I know for me, the vetiver just really pushes out. Now for someone like myself who loves vetiver, that's a good thing. But some people are a little bit shy when it comes to vetiver scents. So if you should get this or try this and you're for some reason not sure if you like vetiver or not, don't go really heavy with it at first. Kind of wean yourself into it. Last but not least, Ferragamo Oud. I do dig these bottles. They're kind of weird, look like they've been twisted as the glass was drying, so it gives it this neat effect. So this has like everything you would want in a really masculine fall and wintertime fragrance. It's got tobacco, it's got leather, it's got spices, it's got booze, it's got woods, it has tonka, it's got gaiac wood, I think it's got iris. It's got it all, man, just put it in there. Really solid performance. It's sort of like a fragrance community underground gym because, you know, not too many people out there know about Ferragamo Oud, let's be real. Sauvage Elixir, sure. Cool Water Intense, sure. Invictus, sure. Ferragamo Oud, probably not. So this one has a really, really nice smoky leather. It's very elegant smelling and actually smells much higher quality than the price would lead you to believe. And then you have that booze, that sweetness from the booze, quite a lot as well. Especially when you spray it on skin, it comes through even more. That does help offset the leather a little bit, make it more wearable. And to be fair, even though the leather is a little smoky, it's not animalic or dirty. It's going to appeal more to guys middle-aged and older. Younger guys I don't think are gonna go toward that one all that much. But again, for the price, even though it's not crazy cheap, it's a good bang for the buck. And it wouldn't surprise me if at some point that stuff just kind of fades away and then has like a little cult following that really wants to, you know, get as many bottles as they can. So there we go. These 10 right here, technically 11. These will get it done. Most of these lean, I guess, a little more toward fall and winter, but you've got some in here that you could wear during the summer as well. So thank you guys for hanging out with me. Stay safe out there. I'll see you guys again tomorrow with another fragrance video. See you later.